get it done with a glass of wine.
Welcome to the Fire Love Podcast. It's Dot.
It's your boy Nate.
And if you are brand new to our channel, please make sure to press like and to hit that subscribe button. We're always giving you the latest tea on relationships, and we're always talking about topics to try to make sure that you keep the flames in your relationship. So I really right now just want to check in with you, babe.
Okay.
We have been going through this pandemic together. We honestly kind of hit a roadblock where we weren't as consistent with the podcast. So I want to check in with you. How are you feeling right now? I know for anybody that's returning to the podcast, you guys have seen we have, for the most part, been very energetic. We felt really inspired.
Yep.
But how do you feel now?
I am annoyed, I would say.
I knew it. I knew something was up.
I've been just tired of just the pandemic, just tired of the fact that things are still on lockdown mode. We still can go out and still do little activities, but it's like it's starting to affect me in a way, because now with all this time that I got in my hand, and then I got work to do, I got managing work to do, like managing producers, and it's just a lot of things piling up on the table, like even like being engaged, getting prepared for marriage, it's just a whole lot. It's just a whole lot on my mind.
So you're just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I can feel that. I can feel like we really hit the ground with the pandemic. We started our YouTube channel, we got engaged, and I definitely feel like we're like right here, like, okay, had enough. I'm annoyed with it. And on top of going through all of this and things being shut down, the police brutality hasn't stopped. So we have to talk about this topic because it like really upset me like to the 10th power, because I'm sick of it. And when I say I'm sick of it, like I'm for real about to be passionate, because it doesn't make any sense that we're still going through this in 2020 and that we have to endure this on top of dealing with the pandemic. So if you haven't been following the recent news, George Floyd, who was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, he was arrested. They tried to say that he was resisting arrest. Restaurants nearby released footage, and again, it's always proved that that was not the case. He was already handcuffed when they threw him on the ground, and an officer placed his knee on his neck right where the man could not breathe. Over and over, you can hear him saying, "I can't breathe, help me, help me." And there are some bystanders standing by, and they recorded the whole thing.
Yeah.
First, I do just want to say, can we have a quick moment of silence for George Floyd? Our prayers go out to the family. Our hearts go out to those that are in Minneapolis and rioting. And our entire love, being, everything about us goes out to the Black community. We always play Flame Flicker Smoke at the top of our episode, but today I really want to talk about a controversial topic that I overheard you talking about.
Oh, you was being nosy. Okay.
So I overheard you on the phone, and I was like, I have to disagree with you. Okay. So there were bystanders who witnessed the murder of George Floyd.
Yeah. And
I heard you say that the people recording should have done something about it.
Yeah, they should have.
What could they do?
Well, I feel like they should have, run into the cop, and just either push him out the way and just let him know that it's not right. I believe that when you see something that's off, when you're really looking at something and it's like, yo, that it's wrong, and then you're wrong, and then that you're right, you got to do something about it. I feel like they should at least bum rush the cop. If they would have got tased, life goes on.
But see, that's my thing.
Yeah.
You're like, if they would have got tased, life goes on. Yeah. I think because we've seen so much of this situation occur over and over, we're almost traumatized. It's almost like I am afraid to go and say anything, because then it's not going to be just him laying on the ground. It's going to be me and him. So it's almost like life for a life right now. Like, do I try to save his life and end mine? Because at this point, once you get into the police's hand, we've seen over and over, anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Right. I mean, I like I said, I feel like if there's 3 people standing there recording, 4 or 5 people just stand there watching the guy.
They were shouting. They were like, yo, like he can't breathe. Like, yo, like let him go.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if it looks off, if it looks wrong, I feel like, you know, something should have happened, should have occurred.
You wouldn't have been afraid to interject?
Of course I would have been afraid, but I would have been more traumatized by recording it and then watching the man dying right in my face.
That's fair.
So at the end of the day, you have, you know, you could pick and choose your battles, and I feel like this would have been a battle that they would have won, even if they would have tried to attack the
but
cops.
They're
not
armed.
even attack
the cops are armed.
Even though they're armed. I feel
that's like you gonna try to stop somebody who's already aggressive and who already doesn't care. They're armed. They might shoot you.
No, I don't believe that. I think when you're recording, it's proof. Right?
But babe, they recorded him getting killed, and he still got killed.
Exactly. But when you're recording someone at a situation like that, once the cameras is on, there's no way that the cop would try to kill you. They can either tase you for
babe,
attacking.
how can you say that?
I can say that because that's what I truly believe. Because
but babe,
when you're looking at the video,
that George Floyd, the officer knew he was being recorded.
But that's exactly what I'm
saying.
saying.
And he still got killed.
Exactly, but he didn't kill him in a way where he put out his weapon. He killed him by putting his knee on where he can't breathe, where he couldn't breathe.
And what makes you think he wouldn't do that to the next person that ran up to him?
There's too many people involved.
So you think it should? So you gotta be clear. So you're saying that everybody should have bum rushed because there's more officers.
I truly believe that if there's 5 people there watching, especially in my community and my culture, I'm not gonna sit here and there's 5 of us outside recording and we're looking at another brother lose his life. We could have prevent that from happening by either one of us would have been brave enough to, if we came together and say, listen, I know this look crazy, but bro, we're gonna have to go in, and if I go to jail, bro, life goes on. We're saving a brother's life. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, he would have been alive. Yeah, I probably would have got a ticket, or I would have been arrested. We all would have been arrested, but I would have been arrested knowing that, the officer was wrong. I just saved a brother's life, and now he's able to see his family. You know what I'm saying?
You're probably going to jail.
Even if I would have went to jail, I look at the situation like, we could win this fight.
That's that Haitian in you.
We could definitely win this fight.
That's that Haiti pride. Let's override the system and let's do it.
I think he could have prevented his life from dying, from losing his life.
He or the recorder?
The recorder, the people that was recording. It would have eventually went in a way where, hey, yeah, we got arrested, but we're free now. We knew what was right.
But you have to also understand that when you get arrested nowadays, they kill you in the jail cells. When you get arrested nowadays, Sandra, no, not yet. There was another young lady who got pulled over for a traffic light.
Yeah.
They said that she hung herself. So you have to keep those things into consideration. So I hear what you're saying, and that's why I think it was a really good controversial topic, because we really, really feel strongly and passionately about our points of views, and that's totally fine because we're friends. We know how to disagree and agree to disagree, and that's why we're here today. Yeah. We really want to talk about being friends first, and we're not talking about being friends before you get into a relationship. We're talking about putting friendship first within your relationship. Mm-hmm. And I personally think that is really crucial because, for one, when you put friendship first in your relationship, it really allows you to see who the person is. To me, a lot of times when we are not friends and we're already trying to be boyfriend and girlfriend, or we're already trying to put on that best face to be wife or husband, you get a totally different version of who I actually am. And when we put the friendship first, I can be silly, I can be goofy, I can do a lot of things because we're friends, like whatever. There's no pressure on these certain responsibilities that these titles hold. And then you can really see who the person is, and then you can do your better judgment from the actual person as opposed to the facade that we all put on when we get into a relationship. You want the person to see your best self. And it's like, be friends first. Allow them to see your flaws. Allow them to see your little quirks or your little isms. And that way, it's not something that comes out years down the line or months down the line, and now you guys are trying to adjust to this new person that you are.
That's true.
And I really like it because you can be honest with each other when you put the friendship first.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm big on friendship. I always been the type of person that put friendship first before I even go further on. It's a big thing for me because I'm big on friendship and taking it to that next level. I mean, I don't really see myself forcing the relationship. If there's no type of friendship there, I don't think the relationship will never last. Especially for me, I'm speaking for me. You know, out of everybody I dated in the past, there's some type of friendship there. You know what I'm saying? And it can either be good and it can either be bad. The good thing about it is that you actually got to know the person for who they are. And the bad thing about it, when you're moving on, you be like, you're knowing that, damn, that was a good person, or this person was a good friend, but we can't continue this love for each other because we have to move on and just, you know.
So you're saying that being friends first is hard because then it's hard to move on because it's like, that's your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, that's what it should be like. For real. Yeah. A relationship shouldn't be something that's easy to move on from. That's somebody that you put your time in. That's something that you invested in. And I think that when you're friends first, it does make it harder to leave. Mm-hmm. Because when you're not friends, what are you even holding on to? Action in the bedroom? Cute pictures?
Yeah.
Company? When you are friends with somebody first, it just makes you more likely to try to problem solve. It makes you a lot more patient. Like, you don't ever want to disrespect your friend. Like, even, like, think about the friends that you have. Sometimes you got to tell your friend some hard things. And that's why I'm saying, like, when you're friends first, the honesty is a lot easier.
Yep.
And sometimes you're like, I need to tell my friend this because I want what's best for her. You literally will practice with yourself on how you about to tell your friend because you already know how your friend is. You're like, okay, so how I'm going to tell her? Okay, I'm going to tell her like this because I already know that she's real sensitive about this. And it's like you have all that consideration and preparation when it's the home girl. Why don't you have that same attitude going forward with your partner? And a lot of times in relationships, because I've had a relationship where there was literally no friendship. I was young and whatever. It was so hard for us to tell each other the truth because we never wanted to hear it. Like, what do you mean you're not perfect? What do you mean I'm not perfect? It got to the point where I wanted to tell the truth. I had the desire to tell the truth. I had the want to talk about hard stuff, but I knew it was going to end up in a fight. I knew it was going to end bad, and I'm just like, there's nowhere we can go from here. Like, we had a roadblock. Now we can't tell each other the truth. Now we're always lying. There's no friendship here whatsoever.
That's crazy you say that. It's what you're saying is like, I really like what you're saying because I feel like if there's no friendship, I can't tell the truth. I'm a lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely lie about how I feel.
Because then you don't care. You don't even care.
I'm gonna definitely lie about how I feel about you. I'm gonna definitely lie about everything. So I feel like if the friendship is really there, I'm gonna really like take my time to express my feelings. And sometimes I'm a person that don't really like to express my feelings. I like to drag it along because I know that if I love you and I really care for you, I'm gonna drag it. I'm be like, ugh, I cannot express how I really feel, but I need to tell you because it's bothering me. There, right? You know, it bothers me.
And that's the other thing too. Yeah. When you put the friendship first in the relationship, you don't sweep things under the rug. You actually bring it to your friend. Like, I don't think you ever sweep things under the rug with your friends. I mean, maybe if it's like a big secret, but for the most part, because it's your friend, you know that y'all are easily going to brush it off. You guys know that y'all are going to talk about it, and you guys know you're going to move on from it. So you have to always put friendship first. And sometimes it's so hard because that boyfriend and girlfriend title can overshadow everything. But it's like, this is your friend. And I think another good way to incorporate that friendship is having that same protection that you have for your homies to have with your partner.
I truly believe that. I feel like you are really like my homie, like straight up. The same conversations I have with my homies would be the same exact energy I'll put into our relationship. As you can see earlier today, I was having a conversation, and then you can hear
it's the same person.
It's the same person. There's no switch up.
That's a good sign too.
Yeah, it is.
That's how you know if y'all are friends or not. If
Exactly.
you hear your partner on the phone with like their homie and they talk completely different from how they talk with you, then that's not your friend. Like maybe they talk about certain things with their friends that they don't talk about with you. Like Nate knows I don't know everything about basketball, but because he's my friend, I've been trying to make sure that I'm in the loop. Now I know a little bit more so he can talk to me about that type of stuff. But if your partner is on the phone and literally you don't even recognize who they are, just like they might have a new slang or maybe they saying you looking like what? That's not your friend. But think about how you don't want nobody disrespecting your friend. Like you don't want nobody saying bad things about your friend. You just like, this is the person that you always go up to bat for. That's that same energy you gotta have for your partner. So when it comes to your parents, when it comes to your coworkers, when it comes to family, like, or other people, like, no, like, you're not about to talk about my man like that. Like, you're not about to talk about my man like that. Not in front of me. Like, that same protection. Because when I'm not in the room, I know that my best friends are gonna speak up for me. Like, nah, like, shut that down. It should be the same with your friend. You shouldn't be jumping on the bandwagon and bashing your partner with them.
No.
That's your friend.
That's somebody that represent me for life. So I definitely won't be talking bad to other people or like about our relationship. If Dot did something crazy, I won't call none of your homies and express what she did. Like literally, I would sit down and just go through it and figure out what needs to be fixed. I would say, because you don't want all that bad stuff going around, and you want people to be like, oh, they're not together anymore. You know, they falling apart. You know,
and it's the same thing with friends. Like sometimes your friends do things that disappoint you. Sometimes your friends hurt your feelings. Sometimes your friends do some crazy stuff, but you don't go around calling everybody and telling everybody what your friend did, because then they're gonna be like, oh, you two-faced. Oh, how you gonna say this about her, but you still kicking it with her? That goes the same for your relationship. The moment you pick up the phone and start telling everybody your business with your partner, and then y'all stay together, they're gonna be like, oh, he not really happy. Let me give him, let me slide him somebody else. Oh, or she ain't really happy. She's faking. She's fronting. And some people don't really understand the dynamic of relationships, and they don't understand sometimes it can be rough and it's a constant up and down. So if you are venting to someone who doesn't understand the dynamic, the first thing they're going to say is they don't really like each other, because she be calling me, telling me he did this and he did that, or he be calling me, so that sort of thing. But
it's lame. I think it's lame for a dude to go back to another dude and talk about their relationship or how bad it's going, or even calling the next girl and expressing his feelings to the next girl about how bad his girlfriend or wife is
the worst. Don't do that.
Because at the end of the day, that create a lot of bad energy. It creates a lot of confusion, because when you're married, the people look at it like, yo, you can't even talk to your wife about this issue. You want to run to
somebody else
or another,
and then that other girl gonna think she got something over your wife. She gonna be like, oh, he don't really love her.
Yeah, and that creates a lot of division, man. That creates division. That like loss of hope. Like your relationship will go total left after that. I believe that, but like I just couldn't do it.
And I would say the last and most important reason that you want to put friendship first in your relationship is because when you are in a relationship with your best friend, it never gets old. I'm telling y'all. I just want to know, you've had friends since you were kids, right? Like since you were little. I have had friends since I was a child. I have grown. I have turned into a different person. We have experienced so many losses together. We have had so many fights together. We have had so many life changes that have occurred within our friendship. But because we are friends, none of it has changed the way we feel about each other. And I think that is what is really important about putting the friendship first. Because at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship with your friend, they will hurt you. They will do a lot of things that you are not happy about. But because of the way you feel for them, it will always prevail. You guys will always be able to see each other through it.
Yeah.
You might need to scream, yell, and take a break. Take a break. But you will always stick it out to the end.
That is true. I'm a big person. I'm really big on friendship. Like, really big on that. Like,
Literally, when he proposed, he was like, you know, I'm always going to be your friend, right? And I was like, that's so cute.
Always going to be your friend.
So I know that you guys want to put boyfriend and girlfriend first, husband and wife first, fiance and fiance first, but I'm telling you, none of that compares to being friends first.
It's important, baby. It is.
I'm in love with the love of my life. Making a life full of love.
Shout out to our mugs, fiance and Basie. I'm so corny, but y'all know I had to get it. All right, make sure y'all subscribe. Love.